How's it going, everybody? This is Gongzhe from CGTN Digital, and we're now reporting live 1,000 kilometers away from Beijing headquarters. This is the town named Wuzhen in eastern China, and we're now reporting on the exhibition area of World Internet Conference 2017. And this is a big event happening yearly in this same town, and we're here again to bring you the latest updates of China's internet. And first of all, we're introducing you to our first guest today, and it is the CEO of the NCF Group, Sheng Jia. Mr. Sheng, very nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you.
So maybe not everyone in front of the screens knows what this group does. So maybe first you have a little introduction of the group.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone. I'm Sheng Jia from NCF Group. NCF Group is a fintech group, financial technology. So we have about 50 million online users, and our businesses cover from third-party payment, online lending, consumer finance to supply chain finance, etc. So basically, we're trying to enable SME with new technology so that they can enjoy finance better.
So what kind of feature technology do you have compared to other competitors?
So if you look at the development of fintech in these years, a lot of things emerge which help to kind of improve the efficiency of finance, especially for individuals and SMEs. For example, the big data. Right? So we use a lot of technology to extract and also analyze data based on transaction, based on user behavior, etc. In order to
Maybe to help them with
help to evaluate the users and help to give a better evaluation of the enterprises so that the financial institute can give money or lend money to them. Otherwise, without data, it's impossible to do that. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. And is this the first time you're here?
No, this is the fourth time.
Okay. So this is the fourth conference, so you've been here all along?
Yeah, it's from the beginning, from 4 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you see? What do you think of the conference from the 4 years perspective?
Well, I would say it's been quite an experience. If you look at 4 years ago, not many people know that, right? It's mostly at the beginning Chinese companies, but from the second, third, especially the second, third, and now we have the fourth. We see more and more companies from around the world, not only from say Southeast Asia, from Europe, but many companies from Canada, from the US, from all the countries. So this is a very obvious change. Yeah, and we expect to see more companies from more countries this year. Yeah.
Okay, for sure. So thank you for your participation, and we will have to tour the whole exhibition area later on. So, okay, so continue with your show. Very nice meeting you. Mm-hmm. So that is Sheng Jia, CEO of NCF Group. And we have so many more enterprises exhibiting in this area, like what we have seen. This is Kaspersky from Russian, the antivirus giant. Maybe you have heard of it. And maybe some of the companies in the US stopped using their software. So maybe we should ask them to see what is the story behind it. And now it seems like they're preparing a more interview too. So they're actually preparing a lot of interviews, and we will ask their PR people to see if their bosses are available now. 你好，想问一下，现在可以采吗？可以。Okay. Seems like it's possible. Okay, they're resorting to their boss, maybe. I heard that the CEO of the Kaspersky company is actually coming to China, to Wuzhen, this small town in eastern China, to attend this meeting and to maybe to spread his ideas to the whole world. And let's see what he has. Okay, hello. Very nice meeting you. I'm Gongzhe from CGTN, China Global Television Network. It is the official.
你好.
你好. It is the official channel that's broadcasting to the whole world. And so maybe a brief introduction to our audiences.
Yeah. So you are here at our company stand, Kaspersky Lab, or KBCG. capacity stand, and here we present our solutions for the government segment. So we have the anti-targeted platform system to detect the targeted attacks, are very professional, highly sophisticated targeted attacks made by very professional criminals or maybe by state-sponsored espionage tools. Also the feeds about cyber security, which we provide, we monitor what's going on in the internet and we provide real-time data to our customers. And the last one is industrial security. Industrial security is one of the most important and the very hot place right now, because the industrial systems, the physical systems, the critical infrastructure is highly computerized, and unfortunately the systems are vulnerable. From time to time we see attacks on the physical system, on the critical infrastructure, so we have solutions to protect it.
Okay, that's very cool, and I think it is very your company is really famous in China. It's like everybody know about it. And but recently, I think I heard some news that some companies like Best Buy in US, they stopped using their software.
Yes.
So do you know the story behind?
Yes, the story behind is that we made someone very disappointed. Actually, we protect our customers from the cyber threats so well that we stopped some espionage attack made there. So actually we just do, it's a proof that we do our job much better. So we detect any kind of the attacks. Doesn't matter if they attack individuals or if it's a state-sponsored attack. And we're only company which can do it. So that's why they made someone very, very disappointed with us. So we're under this media attack and the government attack in the United States, but not in the rest of the world.
Okay. And I think that's not happening in China, right?
Yes, it's not happening in China, and for many nations it's just a simple, it proves that we do cybersecurity better than others. We can see any kind, we can detect and stop any kind of malicious code, and doesn't matter which government is behind this attack.
For sure, and you are here at the conference, so it is the first time you're here?
No, of course not. Yes, on this conference I'm the second time. But I'm in China for many events.
Okay, so as a second comer, what do you think of this conference?
I think it's a one of the most important events, because here is a platform, here is a space for the government and business meetings, which is really necessary, especially for such a country like China, with such big industrial segment, with such a big government organizations in industrial government control on the
So are you in talk with some Chinese enterprise or governments right now?
I'm just arrived.
You just arrived.
But yes, of course we do, and we last year we got an award from this event for industrial cybersecurity. 2 years ago we had meetings here with government officials, and this year we're going as well. So I see this event as very important to establish their trusted and long-term relationship with the government officials.
So there's one more question. So what do you think of China's internet in general?
It works very well in some places. In some places not so. But comparing to the other countries, I think it's better than in some other, even in the developed nations. But once again, it depends on the region. So in some places it's a very basic internet, in some places it's very, very high speed internet, and very, very satisfied with it.
So there are some institutes, research institutes, that claim that China's internet speed, average speed across the country, ranks only maybe more than 100th in the whole world. Do you think so?
No, my experience is that not in every place, not in every region, but in many places. I travel a lot, so I've been in many regions in cities in China. Just recently I was in Xi'an. I was Huangshan.
Huangshan in the middle.
And Danxi landscapes north to Guangzhou.
Guangzhou in the south.
And they had no problems with internet connection.
Okay.
And I was downloading the high resolution pictures, so that was okay.
Okay. So thanks very much for the interview. Thanks for your time. Okay. I hope you come here next time.
Yes.
Okay.
Probably yes.
Okay. I will leave your company behind and go for other companies in China. Okay. Thanks very much. So let's see what we have. Actually, there is one more CGTN reporter right now touring this area. He is called Nick Moore. I don't know where he is, but here he is. Nick, very nice seeing you here. Okay,
Hey,
so
yeah.
what have you found here?
Loads of interesting things. I love how interactive this exhibition is. It's really showing how the internet technology, how it's going to change our lives in the future. In some ways, make everything better. But there's a really interesting stand over here by UNICEF. The kid is kind of trapped in this bubble of the internet and technology. And we can look at the mental problems that a lot of children suffer from internet addiction, and this is an important thing for UNICEF this year.
That sounds like a topic they were interested in.
Exactly. But let's move on to something a bit more positive, shall we? Yep. So Wuzhen, huge exhibition. We've got some of the biggest names here. BMW. There's a completely electric car. That's going to be a big thing in the future as well, isn't it?
Yeah, China is actually planning to replace all the fuel with the fossil fuel-based cars and replace it with the new energy cars like this.
Yeah, and it doesn't just go into new energy. So big data, autonomous driving. In the next 5-10 years, that's going to be a big thing, right?
Yeah, cars are getting more and more smart now. It's just like 10 years ago, our phone went smart.
Yeah. And I saw earlier this year, Hyundai, they're opening a big data center in China. China's really driving car technology into the next generation.
And the government is now have appointed Baidu to be the one to develop the manless driving technology.
Great. Yeah, we maybe look at Baidu a bit later as well. They're here as well. Shall we move on to the way we shop in the future? I think that's going to be really interesting. So, like we said, loads of big names here. We've got JD.com, which is it fair to say it's China's Amazon, or is it even more than that?
I don't really know actually, but I buy a lot of things on JD simply because it's convenient and it can ship to me within 24 hours.
Yeah,
that is really achievement.
And they're going to change that even further in the future. So you can see on the wall here, JD.com, they're developing drone delivery. That's amazing, right?
Yeah, they have announced a long time ago. I wonder how is their progress.
Well, if someone from JD.com was here, they could tell us, but I don't think they are. So this is like a vending machine where in the future they're gonna be able to use face recognition technology. So you can apparently you can look here. In the future, that's going to recognize my face.
Okay.
Join up.
It seems like it's looking at you. And now it recognizes me. Yeah, I'm not even in the middle of the picture. It recognized me.
So facial recognition technology, that's going to link up to maybe your Alipay account or whatever. You can buy stuff online.
JD has its own payment system.
Everyone has their own payment system now. It's huge, right? Okay, where shall we move on to next?
I don't know. Let's see what we have here. It's like there are vendors and there are like internet companies like BAT, and also there's maybe mobile network providers like China Mobile or China Telecom. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, I'm just reading here. There's a 5G live HD tour of Wuzhen. We don't have to take a look at that now, but 5G, that's going to be a big thing in the future, right?
Great, and I'm actually I can't wait to see how 5G will change my life in the future. It's like in the 3G, before the 3G time, we think our mobile network is already enough for us to search all kinds of text or even the big picture things. And now, but with 3G came, we have videos. Yeah, and we even have like GIFs are become GIF pictures are becoming normal, and in 4G there's even better things like we can talk through the data line, and that is crystal clear.
Yeah.
Make me. It's just it's compared to the old time GSM technology. It's a huge difference in the quality of the sound.
Yeah. And what does 5G mean? What is that going to be? Is that going to be downloading a movie in 2 seconds, or
Maybe not 2 seconds, but I think according to what I know so far, because the standard of this 5G have not came out yet, so China is also racing to be the standard definer in this area, and I think. Right now, the most featured thing in 5G is the response speed. It's it is responding really fast. If you open a web page right now through 4G network, you have to wait a few seconds for the whole page to appear. And in the future, like 5G technology, it can respond really quickly with maybe just unnoticeable latency there. Yeah.
And we're nearly there, right? I think I was reading 2020, maybe 5G will start being rolled out.
I think in the US maybe even faster. Verizon is trying to test this 5G network in maybe later next year. I think late next year, and they will implement this technology in like 5 cities in the United States.
And China itself is really working hard on developing 5G as well.
Yeah, like Huawei and ZTE, they both are developing their own technologies.
Yeah. Should we look at something a bit closer to home? CCTV are friends, good friends with CGTN.
Yeah,
they have a stand here.
No one told me CCTV is here. You see, this is the network. It is the internet version of CCTV television, the CCTV.com, which is very interesting. I sometimes log into the CCTV.com to see live TV broadcast. I don't know if it is available to foreign countries now.
I'm not sure. I guess it's a similar service to Amazon Prime or Netflix, that kind of thing, watch on demand.
Yeah.
And I think that this, looking at CCTV here, this shows the power of the internet, CCTV, China Central Television, it's been around for, 50, 60 years, decades.
Of course.
And it's really getting up there with the future, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really catching up with the future. Like now, we are part of the CCTV, and we're now streaming live on Facebook on our apps. Yeah.
It's amazing. Let's move along. There's so much to see at this exhibition.
Yeah, I kind of get lost in this area because I thought Alibaba is not in front of me; it's behind. But okay, I'm a bit lost. Yeah.
But talking about CCTV embracing the future, that's kind of what you can see here in Wuzhen. It's an ancient town which is again embracing internet technology.
Yeah, changed by the internet technology.
Yeah, it's kind of bringing the past and the future together. It's an interesting concept, right?
Yeah, the guests we interviewed before, the two guests both mentioned this. China's internet has been improving a lot. The CEO of Kaspersky said he has no problem in various Chinese cities everywhere, northwest, east, west, and there's no problem with the internet speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, coming on to some more familiar names, huge players in tech in China. So Tencent here, what are they developing? Do you know what their plan is for the future?
Okay, China has appointed Baidu as the one to make driverless cars, and for Tencent, the job is in the healthcare area. It's like to treat people's diseases, because China is a vast country. If you have some really serious conditions, then maybe you need the best doctor to treat you, but the doctor is like 1,000 kilometers away. So what would be the solution? This is a question that the country have put on Tencent. They will have to answer that.
Okay, and so using internet technology, that's going to involve, I guess, big data.
Maybe not only big data.
Artificial intelligence as well.
Okay, maybe we just mentioned 5G network. It responds quickly. So maybe it is possible for the doctors to do remote surgeries through the network. And there will be, if the network has lower latency, that means that those kind of surgeries will have a higher rate of success.
That sounds amazing. Really does. So, Tencent got some VR headsets as well. Yeah, this is kind of older technology now, isn't it? VR. But again, it's really in development. It's going to be huge in the future. even AR as well.
Yeah, even AR as well, because maybe there's leading companies are announcing different kind of reality things, AR, VR, and even someone called MR, mixed reality. It's like putting you have the goggles on, but it's not. It will not block your eyesight.
Yeah.
It is still a transparent thing, and but it's still projecting maybe images on the maybe glasses. So maybe those glasses will not be made of glasses anymore.
Yeah. You were saying just then that Tencent, they've kind of taken on this task of developing healthcare in China. You're moving on to Alibaba Group, again huge players in tech in China, indeed in the world. They've got this task of applying data, internet technology into alleviating poverty.
And what we call city brain. I don't even know what it's all about right now, but I'm in the contact with the Alipay and the Alibaba people to find out what they're gonna do in the future. And now it seems like they're already showing something.
So what can we see on this big screen? Loads of impressive data. This is coming in live, I think, is it?
Okay, let's see what is there. It is the Ant financial demonstration. There is the data transition age of the payment network.
See the Belt and Road Initiative here.
Yeah, there's okay, the Belt and Road, and this is all Chinese characters. I'll have to check out. It has 2.1 billion times of trust inquiries. Because in the future maybe now we're using our credit card to spend our credit to spend now and maybe cash in later, and now even the private companies like Alipay is trying to implement that kind of system as well, and it seems like their trust is inquiry, the trust inquiry have already been used 2.1 billion times.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think this is interesting. This is interesting as well. So poverty alleviation, we just said. Blockchain making charity more transparent. So
How is that done?
unfortunately, I'm not a big boffin on blockchain, but I think this shows that blockchain technology, it goes beyond just Bitcoin or that kind of cryptocurrency thing.
Oh, maybe because it's completely anonymous.
Yeah, it's completely anonymous, end-to-end encryption, that kind of thing. And yeah, making charity more transparent, because we saw, I think last year, China had its new charity law. Still struggling to kind of develop trust in the sphere of charity.
Because the donators don't know if the institute they're donating money into is a legit one.
Exactly.
So China had a full list of them, but there are new coming up. So maybe they're not. They may claim that they are not added to the list yet.
Yeah.
So there's maybe a huge trust issue between between those kind-hearted people with the companies and organizations.
Sure. And if you can use technology like blockchain, excuse me.
Oh.
Sorry. You take over the mic, Claire.
Okay, it is me here. So let's see what else we have here. There's also telecommunication runners in this area. Like this is China Unicom. There are three major maybe mobile operators in China. This is one of them, China Mobile, like China Mobile, and this one is China Unicom. So they're also showing us some big data. It's like.
What can we see here?
On this screen there is a lot of app icons. Maybe for foreigners they cannot recognize all of them, but they're all very famous in China. Like the top one, WeChat, we're using it every day, and then also Tencent's QQ and Tencent Video. It seems like Tencent is really occupying a huge part in this industry.
We can see this huge number at the top.
The huge number at the top. You can see there's a real-time indicator of how many Chinese people are using mobile apps right now. There are 438 million of them.
Yeah.
So there are more than 400 million people are using mobile apps right now in China. This is a really big market. Anyone may have developed something great and implement in this vast internet market.
Okay. Yeah. And as you were saying earlier, Baidu, they've been given this task by the government and to do driverless cars. They're also developing a lot of technology which people can use in their homes in the future. So mobile technology, Baidu it's really developing voice recognition technology, right?
It's like, Baidu is used to be a search engine company, but now it claims that it is an AI one. So we may have to go inside to see what Baidu have achieved. Yeah, this one. Baidu is started to develop what they claim an operating system, but I don't really know what kind of operating system it will be installed into.
This is called Duer.
Yeah, Duer OS. Okay, it is. The name is written here, Duer OS.
This is Baidu's own operating
yeah, the
system.
Do of Baidu and the I don't really know what this means, but this is what I know that Baidu people reading this. It is called Duer OS, and
this is all artificial intelligence being used in people's homes and
all kinds of things. They also want to install this OS into cars to replace the computer, current computer in the cars, and they have this kind. It looks a bit like the Amazon Echo, and we can also ask questions to it. It's like, maybe. It seems like I started to play music. I don't know how to use it yet. It's the first time I touched this thing. Okay, 小度，今天天气怎么样? I'm just asking for the weather. Okay, in Jiaxing, it is a bit cloudy. It's 5 to 13 Fahrenheit, and a bit warmer than before. And the AQI is 65, and it's just so-so. This kind of machine is telling me it's actually having opinions on the weather. It's telling me that the AQI, the air quality today, is just so-so.
So it is showing some intelligence.
Yeah, it has its own judgment to tell people more accurate advices onto what is happening around them.
In the future, this is going to interact with the it's called the Internet of Things, right? So all your home appliances at home, your kettle, your fridge, your air conditioner, the lights, the curtains, they're all going to be linked to this kind of technology. So you just walk in, voice recognition, everything happens so much quickly and so much more efficiently, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm in command of my home.
Yeah. No, I think this is pretty interesting as well. Like we were saying earlier,
traditionally themed.
Yeah, it's kind of linking the past with the future. I was reading about this a few months ago. Dunhuang, if you don't know, is in northwest China. There's a lot of ancient cave paintings, I think.
Cave paintings, cave sculptures.
Cave sculptures, yeah. And they're really precious, and obviously a lot of tourists, they want to see them, but if you're going in there and it's changing the atmosphere.
It's in the west, it's far away.
Yeah, and you're going to cause a bit of damage as well to these ancient artifacts.
Yeah, by touching them. Even the wind, they're being damaged by the wind itself. So maybe we don't want to touch it anymore.
Yeah. So how do you get around this problem? You use technology like virtual reality, augmented reality. You can imagine that you're standing inside one of these caves in Dunhuang or wherever and enjoy these artifacts.
I get it, using VR to demonstrate those things. Actually, just last week, I was in the Forbidden City to report that the Forbidden City going digitalized, and they're actually having some relics. Like the ancient sword used by an emperor 2,000 years ago, and they did a full scan of that sword and created a 3D demonstration of that sword.
Yeah.
It is. We see previously this sword with pictures, like photos, but they're still low-res photos. But now with this 3D scanning, we can see every side of it. We can turn it around. We can zoom into extreme details, like how every character written onto that sword. I wasn't even know there were characters sculptured on that sword.
Yeah. So you're really experiencing the past in that way, aren't you?
Yeah.
We're kind of ending where we should have started, I think, at the main entrance part of the exhibition, but it's a great place to understand how important Wuzhen Internet Conference is nationally,
Yeah, like tomorrow, China's President Xi Jinping is going to give a speech through video to World Internet Conference. although the exhibition started today, the real dish of the conference starts tomorrow morning. So we will also do a live tomorrow morning about the opening of the conference, and President Xi Jinping will be there by video.
Yeah. So this is the fourth conference to take place here in Wuzhen. You can see around us, so here, one of the major themes, Internet plus poverty alleviation, using data, technology to really push forward with that poverty alleviation. We can see over here, managing cyberspace in accordance with the rule of law. That's going to be another big theme this year, right?
Yeah, I'm really curious about this.
Yeah.
Like how the government will affect the future of China's internet, because there are many debates over the internet right now, like the net neutrality rules in the U.S. and everyone is talking about it.
Yeah.
I use Reddit a lot, and on Reddit, the technology section, it is a whole screen of net neutrality topics.
Yeah, but that's one theme of this year's expo, is kind of a common community of shared, working together to develop the internet for the good of the future.
So that is all we have to share today.
Yeah, I think that's all. It's been pretty busy. There's so much more to look at. I'm afraid we don't have time now, but
yeah, we set the time to start the stream at 15 Beijing time, but unfortunately we push it like nearly a half an hour just to make sure that you have everything showed up here and to show everything here for you. So that is the end of the stream for today. So remember, tune in tomorrow Beijing time at the beginning of the main dish of the conference itself. Yeah. And we will try to explain what Xi Jinping said during in his video, and to tell you what his vision is about China's future internet.
Yep.
Okay,
right.
that's all of it.
Okay.
See you next day.
Yep. See you next time. Bye bye now.